What's happening, legends? Welcome back to the Becoming Reborn podcast. Now, today we've got a Q&A, Patrick.
Yes.
You've come up with some questions
I have.
for us.
Bit of a mix around like training, life, parenting, business.
Yeah, there was heaps. I read through them and obviously written my answers. So let's just dive in. Do you want to do the question asking and I'll do the answering?
Love to.
All right, let's do it.
Well,
you go.
I've got some answers too, but I'll ask you.
You ask and then I'll answer, then you can answer
Fantastic.
yourself.
All right. If you could only do 3 exercises for the rest of your life, what would they be and why?
Now, I'd like to say that I'm a pretty organised guy. I actually missed this question, but Patrick, I can tell you straight away what number 1 is.
And I think it's going to be the same as mine, Travis.
Bench press.
Yeah, bench press. Why? Just to get massive.
Yeah, I do bench press and I do some sort of pulling exercise. I'm thinking it's going to, I think it would be better to do a row, but I feel like chin-ups is going to be.
Travis, that's my second one too.
We're definitely not going to have the same third. My last one will be running.
Pick up my phone now and look at it. We haven't spoken about this, I swear.
Oh my God.
I wrote running even though...
You don't like it?
Well, like I've just seemed to have gone from one injury to another in the last like 12 months with running. But in terms of what would be the best for you,
Imagine
running.
if you just did bench press, pull-ups, and running. I reckon you'd be a rig.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you would be. You'd be lean but strong and fit. So you definitely need some kind of cardio in there and also some kind of lower body. So it ticks both with running, right?
Yeah, and you could do like running and sprints. Like you could mix it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's versatile.
Who would have thought we have the exact same 3?
That's so good. Bench press, but like
number 1.
if I have to do that 3 times,
Filthy.
sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Oh no, I'm going to have a massive chest. Don't want that. All right, Travis, what's one fitness myth that refuses to die?
Running is the best for fat loss.
Ooh, explain. It's not.
Yeah. I was guilty of thinking this too when I first started running, because you do drop a lot of weight. Or sorry, not in some people drop a lot of weight. I've seen a lot of members drop a lot of weight from it in the past. But it's not the best way.
No.
No.
And often I think where the confusion comes is people look at others that are really good runners and they're often skinny and they're like, well, running makes you skinny. And it's like, not necessarily. It might just be that people that are naturally skinny start running and they're pretty good at it because they're not having to carry as much weight. So they keep running. Whereas someone who's bigger or overweight, they start running and they go, this feels horrific. So they stop running. The running itself doesn't get them to lose the weight.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
the people that are less heavy run more because it's more comfortable and they're better at it.
And there's a lot more injuries that come with it as well.
Yes.
It's funny because I actually thought this when I was younger and I never ran, and yet I was never overweight and all I did was weights. Doesn't make sense that I thought that. But anyways.
Yeah, but it's a bit like people look at basketballers and they're all tall and it's like saying basketball makes you tall. No, it doesn't. If you're tall, you're probably going to stick with basketball.
Yeah, makes sense.
Does make sense. My
What's
one,
yours?
Travis, is women get too bulky from doing weights.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's my
That's a
biggest
heaps
fitness
good
myth.
one.
Yeah, that is still to this day, no matter how many times we say it, we still hear it.
Yeah,
Girls-
Bizza thinks
yeah.
that she's going to be the Hulk if she does
Yeah.
a weight session a week.
Yeah. Yeah. She doesn't want to lift 5 kilo dumbbells because she's going to put on too much muscle. So quickly with that, first of all, females don't generate enough testosterone or anywhere near the levels of testosterone as men to be able to put on muscle. Second of all, there's a lot of men out there who their main goal in life is to build muscle, and they eat as much protein as they can. They do weights 5 or 6 days a week. They rest enough. Everything in their life is aimed at building muscle, and they still struggle to do it. So women who think they're going to get too bulky from doing weights, it's a bit like saying, I don't want to go and play tennis because I might win Wimbledon. Whoops. How'd that happen? You're not. You won't win Wimbledon.
I like when you use that. You've said
it's
that
my
a few
favourite
times.
analogy. All right. Next question. Travis, what's the biggest mistake people make after turning 30?
Train harder, not smarter.
Ooh.
You and I are guilty of that. We're guilty of that. We're getting better at it. You're heaps better than I am. But don't you reckon everyone that turns 30, males I'm talking about, they either do a triathlon, start playing golf, or like they start running marathons?
Yeah.
We did all those things except for the golf part.
I played some golf. I've played like 5 games this year.
Shut
I
up. You're pretty
know.
much Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm with that.
yeah, like I reckon if you did it for like 2 more weeks, you'd be sweet.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
I agree.
But yeah, that's my, after 30 is like, thinking you can still kind of do the same things you did in
Your
your
body
20s.
doesn't respond the way it used to.
Yeah.
My thing is lack of balance, but not necessarily in terms of training. So I kind of looked at this from a life thing. The biggest mistake, especially men after turning 30, is a lack of balance. So it's like they will often devote a lot of their life into something, whether it's work or whether it's a negative thing like partying or drinking or gambling or something like that. Often they will lack the balance. They won't have relationships and family and work life and fun all balanced out. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I just knew you just turned 30, didn't you?
No.
31.
31.
He's 31. He runs marathons, plays golf.
Yeah.
And what was the other one I said?
We said triathlons, but
Triathlon. You don't swim.
hey, you came and swam with me last year, remember? We did some sessions at the pool.
Yeah.
You overcame your fear, and then you were like, I still don't like it. I'm not doing it anymore. I was proud of you, though.
I'm so proud of you. I love
All
you
right.
so much. We're a beautiful chocolate man.
Next question, Travis. What exercise gives people the biggest return on investment?
I had walking.
Oh, look at you.
Mm.
Why? Explain.
Well, I'm just trying to find my notes. Well, I can answer. I don't know why I'm trying to
Yeah.
find my notes. Because low impact.
Yep.
You can do it anywhere. Great for mental health. Great for mental clarity. And as well, there's something, I'm assuming you're walking outdoors, by the way. There's something about outdoors and the fresh air that just makes everything better. Yeah, but mine's walking, and it's the most. I think it's the most underrated. If I was to say, we've talked about this.
Yep.
I wanted to lose a little bit of weight, right? I wouldn't focus on eating less because I love food,
Same.
heaps, right? And I train enough, so I wouldn't try to train more because that's just going to probably lead to more injuries. But what I can do that's not going to cause me any injury, it's low impact, and anyone can do it. I can do it with my kids. I can do it with my wife. I can do it with you, Pat. I can do it with New.
Can't wait.
Love to. We can go for a walk.
Let's go for a hot guy walk after this.
Oh my God, love to. Got to go coach the school, but
Okay.
any other day I would love to go for a hot boy walk. Is that what it's called?
Sure.
Yeah.
I said guy, but boy
hot
sounds
guy.
better.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Hot anything with you is good.
Nice.
What's yours?
Um,
Bench press.
no. Or weights. What exercise gives people the biggest return on investment? Weights, especially because it's one that's not done as much. And I didn't really look at walking as a form of exercise. How dare I? I
The
know.
disrespect.
Yeah. But what I mean by that is you can still walk. You know what I mean? You're going to be walking around anyway, but not many people are going to be going and doing weights specifically.
Yeah, mine would be. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's the best form of exercise for you in terms of for everything, right? Like bigger muscles is just good stuff.
Yes.
Really good stuff.
All right. Next question. What's something you used to believe about fitness that you completely changed your mind on?
Kind of the same as the running, but a little bit different. That cardio was the best for fat loss. I used to be not very well educated around nutrition. I used to just think, I think this because it comes from me because I always had a good relationship with food. So it's just like, oh, if you want to lose weight, like the only way to do it is just heaps of cardio. And I didn't do any. I just played footy and that was it. So it doesn't make any sense, my logic.
Yeah. My answer is flogging yourself to death every session, which I used to do. And I still sometimes do. No, I don't do it anymore.
Do you remember how bad I used to be with that?
Yes. You would have it would be like you have to spew 5 days a week or you're not training
it was
hard enough.
fucked.
Yeah. So that's something that I've changed my mind on, in that you can have like 2 or 3 really high intensity sessions over a week and then do some weights or zone 2 or walking, because it is exercise. Outside of that, and you're still going to get a good result because your body does need to recover, even if you want to lie to yourself and think it doesn't.
This next question was really hard for me to answer, Pat.
Yeah. The question is, if you couldn't track your calories, your steps, your weight, or your body fat, how would you know if you're healthy?
So my answer was from how I feel,
Word for word the same as me.
in particular, in the morning when you wake up. So
Okay.
it's always hard to get up. Pat and I, we get up really early. It's not easy, but it's that moment when you like walk into the gym or walk into wherever you're going that we always feel good. Like you always feel, unless you've had a bad night's sleep, but you always feel physically good. And like that would be the best and probably the only way, judging by the things you can't
Yeah.
track. What did you say?
So you can't track. I also said how I feel, but now I feel like I've got to come up with a different answer. If you couldn't track calories, steps, weight, or body fat, how would you know if you're healthy? Well, if you couldn't track all of that, here we go. I've got a good one for you.
Oh, can I guess?
I don't think you're going to get it, but sure, go.
What would be like the next thing would be sleep. How you sleep.
Not necessarily.
Damn
but
it.
here's mine.
Shit.
It's going to sound a bit,
Nerdy.
a bit wankery too. Can you do a chin up?
Oh, okay. Yeah, body weight.
If you have the right amount of muscle mass and low enough body fat, like, can you pull your body up and over a bar? If you can't, I wouldn't necessarily say that you're healthy. If you can, you're probably pretty healthy.
Wow.
Just made that up on the spot. Well done.
I think you just whacked a few people in the
Yeah.
face.
That's okay. That happens. Travis, what's the hardest part about fitness that nobody talks about?
Oh, great question.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, you could take this anywhere.
Because a lot of people would say to get started is the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
It is hard. I don't think it's the hardest. Do you know what I reckon the hardest part of a fitness journey is? Once you've got the results, keeping that momentum. How many times do we see people get into a really good rhythm and then it's like, all right, you've done the hard work. Now it's just about getting in the grind.
And then they can't maintain the consistency.
And then that's where the yo-yo starts.
Yes.
And then what happens is the yo-yo, it doesn't necessarily put them straight back to where they were before, but it's like every time they dip out of the gym or out of routine, it gets them a little bit closer back to it. And then they come back and it's a little bit harder to get back to where they were when they had full momentum. Then they dip out again. Then it's a little bit harder and it's slowly, it's like, it's a slow death.
Agreed.
So that story summed up, I think the hardest part that no one talks about is keeping the momentum.
Yes. And I'll take that a bit further.
Yeah, you will.
Is training consistently when there's no goal or no event. And we find this a lot there's a lot of members here who it's like they always need an event to train for, because what can be very difficult that not many people talk about is training just for training's sake.
Yeah.
Like people have got a goal to run a marathon and then they run a marathon and then they might go, all right, I'm going to do this next marathon and I've got to try and beat the time. Or they're doing a high rocks. Or it might be like they're on a weight loss journey. All right, I've got 10 kilos to lose. When I hit 70 kilos, then I'm there. And then they get to their 70 kilos and then all of a sudden they're not weighing themselves in every week and seeing those improvements and, getting that momentum of like, yes, I've lost another kilo, which can be really easy to help you continue because you're building the confidence. And then once you've hit the goal weight, it's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah. Little shout out to, you just triggered something then. Little shout out to Tommy Carr, your younger, better looking brother, and the Elite Games.
Yes.
Like at the moment, I'm in that frustrating period where I don't actually have anything to train for. There's nothing that is urgent that I need to train for. But what's keeping me, not keeping me going, because I always keep training, but keeping me competitive is every Wednesday,
Balls are on the line.
I fight for my life.
It's actually Alpha Series, not Elite Games.
Oh,
but
sorry.
That's okay.
Alpha Series.
That's okay. Yeah,
Where do
no, I
get
agree
Elite
with
Games
that.
from?
We were hoping to call it the Elite Games, and then that business name's taken, so we had to go
Those
with Alpha Series. Yeah.
Dogs.
I don't even do anything with it either.
Alpha
But yeah, no,
Series is better.
yeah,
I like Alpha Series better.
I actually completely agree with that. It's training consistently when no one's watching and no one cares. Like you're not on this big journey of weight loss, or you're not, trying to run a sub 3 hour marathon. It's like you need to just still turn up 5-6 days a week and train, and no one else cares. That's the hard bit.
That's the hard part.
That no one really talks about.
Yeah. Or you asked the question, sorry.
Travis, what advice sounds terrible but is actually true? We're going to take one each here. Go on.
I reckon this is you. This is coming from me right now, but I reckon I've gotten this from you. Just be better.
Do you know what, Travis? It's actually very similar to what I've written down as my answer.
And I wrote, just be better, lol.
Yeah.
Because
Mine,
it's what you would say.
My advice that sounds terrible but is actually true is try harder. 2 words. That's it. Try harder. Because everything where a lot of people are searching for the silver bullet, or they wonder how to make this better, or I'm not getting the results I want in this. This could be in business. This could be in fitness. This could be in life. When it's like, honestly, 95% of your problems would be solved if you just try harder. And I often say that, like, to my wife in particular. She loves hearing that.
Oh, she would love that.
Absolutely loves it when she's like, oh, like I'm trying to like run quicker and I can't get my time under this. And my advice is try harder, and I don't get great feedback. But the answer's true. Like when we're doing these Alpha Series workouts on Wednesday, honestly, the only thing going through my mind apart from trying not to spew often, is in this next whatever you're doing, try as hard as you can. That's it. It's very simple sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Travis, what do people waste too much time worrying about?
What others think about their fitness journey.
I've got it written down. I just had what others think about them in general. So taking it away from fitness specifically. But yeah, what other people think of them. No one cares.
No one gives a
I
shit.
literally said this in the last podcast. No one cares about you, respectfully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope that helps.
Yeah. And I think this also stems into a lot of society in general, especially with social media, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is always so worried about what other people think of them. And if they get a photo taken, they have to have 100 takes to get the right one with the right angle so that they look the best to people that they don't even like.
Just go back to our last quote. Just be better. Just try harder.
Yeah.
Be better.
Or just don't care what. Just be comfortable in your own skin with who you are and not worrying about what other people think of you. It's very easily said, more difficult to be done.
Yeah, but people are worrying about their own shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you got to remember. Like, every time you think about what others are thinking about you, like, they're too busy worried about their own things.
And the people that are judgmental and do judge you and think poorly of you if for whatever reason, if they sound like a shit person. So why does their opinion of you bother?
And more than likely, those people that are judging is because they're trying to stay away from their own insecurities.
Yep.
They're trying to avoid their own problems, so it's easy to focus on someone else's.
Nice.
I said that so well instead of the way that it originally came to my mind.
I was hoping you'd just
went.
Yeah.
We were talking about it before the podcast. Actually, message us if you guys think that we should do it where we just actually speak
the words that we want to say.
Yeah.
What we say to each other. And
yeah,
it's not very politically correct.
That seems inappropriate.
Yeah. And I don't think we can, even though I want to do it more than anyone.
Yeah, that's true.
Next question. If you could send one message to every 25-year-old, what would it be?
All right, so I had to write this down and look up the exact quote of it. It's from Will Smith's book. It's not this quote out exactly, but he talked about brick by brick, right? Mm-hmm. And that he just wanted to lay one brick at a time and focus purely on that one brick so that he built the perfect wall. But this is kind of another saying off the back of that. Lay one brick every day. One day you'll look back and realize you've built something incredible. Now, even I'm speaking to myself here as a 25-year-old. I expected for myself to have it all figured out and be able to do everything that I wanted to do on that day right then and there. And I expected success in one day. I expected to win every day. Whereas if I had to focus more so on the long-term play and making sure that everything that I did was towards, what I was trying to achieve in the long term, I will be way better off.
Nice.
That's mine.
Well done. So more about delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Mine is, and it sounds cheesy, but a message to every 25-year-old is find what you want and chase it without caring about anyone or anything else. Too many people are like, oh, I can't go and do this because of what my parents would think or because of what this person would think. And it's like, if you're in your life trying to keep other people happy, even if you do the things that you think they want you to do, you're not going to be happy within yourself.
Yeah.
So what's the point? You might as well be happy within yourself. And I can guarantee you that all the people that are close to you and do genuinely care for you, they just want you to be happy, even if it's doing something that they don't necessarily agree with. I know with my kids in particular, I don't really care what they do, right? But if they did something that I wouldn't have done or that I might not have necessarily agreed with, so long as they go and chase it and do it hard, I don't care. Go and be a piano player. I never would have, but if you're going to be a piano player, be the best goddamn piano player that has ever been in the world.
Yeah, just give it your time and your effort. Love that. What's the next question?
I actually didn't have an answer with this, Travis. I'm hoping you do. What's something you've become less certain about as you've gotten older?
Kills me to say this, Patrick. And I wrote it, and then I deleted it, and then I go, well, I've got to say it now. Age is just a number. It's starting to, you start doing things now. There's been a couple moments where I've gone to do something and I'm like, fuck, I know that my body is trying to cash. I'm sorry, my mind's trying to cash checks. My body can't check.
I'm gonna have to agree with that.
Yeah,
Especially over the last like 12, 18 months, the injuries in that I've had, far out. Yeah.
and it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. And it's a part of the journey. It's something that I've never wanted to accept. I've heard people talk about. I wouldn't say that like at the moment. It's really apparent, but I can just feel there's just moments where I'm like, that should not normally happen for me. Where I've been able to do those certain things, because it feels like now more than ever we're training smarter,
Recovering better.
better, more focused on sleep than ever. But yeah, like I notice in league tag a lot. There's just like little moments where I'm like, that wasn't right, or like where something that comes so naturally to me, I'm like, I should have been there. I should have got that. That was one step too far, too far back, or too far in front, whatever it might be. But yeah, age is just a number. I remember Dicey always talking about it, and he's like, I used to think that age is just a number, but once you hit 40. That's when it all starts happening. And I was like, no.
We're not even 40 yet.
Nah, not from Dykes as well.
I had this conversation actually with Tommy, my little brother, yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, literally yesterday. We were talking about whether he's playing footy again next year, and he was tossing it up or not. And
how old's Tommy?
32 this year.
Fuck.
Yeah, he's 32. And I think I finished when I was 30. You were in 30 or 31? You after me? Anyway, regardless. The line I always go back to is Father Time's undefeated. Obviously, there are things that we can do and that the time doesn't impact us too much with, but like playing tackle footy, that's a different beast. And it's like, I honestly still remember when I was 18 and I was playing on a Sunday, I'd play 18s and then I'd back up and play A grade every week back at the Colts. And there was like guys, and at the time, they were the old guys. There was guys that were like 26, 27. And they were like, you won't be able to do that forever, mate. And then I honestly remember having a conversation with them. Shout out to Ben Stark. And saying to Starkey, mate, you're just a pussy. I could play 4 games a day if you wanted. And they're like, yeah, it's going to catch up to you one day. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm just going to keep playing. And then all of a sudden, here I am as the old bloke saying the exact same thing to the young blokes. Like, it's going to catch up to you one day. That's hard.
It was hard for me to write that one, Patrick. It really was.
Okay. All right, next one. What's a hill you're willing to die on, Travis?
Oh, you missed one.
Oh, I missed one. Sorry, I'm going to go back one. What belief has had the biggest positive impact on your life?
Some people might think this is arrogant, but this is generally how I think. So it is what it is. I can do anything. I can do anything I put my mind to if I give it my effort and my time. And I still think it. I think if I want to do something, all I've got to do is give it my effort and my time, and I'll achieve it. I genuinely, and like
figure it out
to the core of my body, I genuinely believe it. And I love that. It's always had this belief. And my son's the exact same. The other day we were at footy. Me and him were just down training with each other. I went and did my run-throughs. I said, if you want to come train with me, you got to do my run-throughs first. He said, yeah, sweet. So we did my run-throughs. And then I said, all right, whatever you want to do after that, we can do it for however long you want to do it. So we're doing these kicking drills. And then we're doing some fullback drills, blah, blah. And I said to him, he goes to me, oh, I'm going to be over there later. And he pointed to Shark Park. And I wasn't thinking about what he was actually talking about. I thought he meant like he'll be playing first grade. And I go, do you actually believe that? He goes, yeah, of course. And I go, do you believe that you play first grade? He goes, I was talking about the game. He's gone to the Sharks Dragons game, whatever it was. And I go, oh, yeah, it's true. But he goes, yeah, but I do. I go, you believe you play first grade? He goes, yeah, of course. I said, why? And I didn't say like, why? I said like, well, why do you think that? And he goes, because I back myself. And I didn't say one more word to him. I just went, that's my boy. Because that kind of belief, whether it's true or not, if it turns into reality or not, that belief is going to take him so far.
Heaps further than...
Exactly. Because he's always going to think whatever he puts his mind and his effort to, he's going to be able to achieve it. And I love that. And I know some people might sit there and say that that's arrogance. I see it as confidence. That's a young kid. And I never want to ever try to push an agenda either way with him, whether he's trying to chase that or say he can or can't do that. I just let him, I leave it there.
And yes, the line can be blurred between confidence and arrogance, admittedly, but I would much rather a confident or seemingly arrogant kid than one that constantly has self-doubt and questions themselves any day of the week. I would rather tip the scales onto the too confident, they're not confident enough.
And your confidence I'm going to go just stay with confidence. Your confidence comes from your reps.
100% it does.
Like if you're putting the time and effort, that's where you get the confidence from.
And life has a funny way of humbling you anyway. We've spoken about this before, Trav, with you in particular.
Oh, God.
So when someone is too confident, the universe has a funny way of bringing them back down to earth. Not so the other way. If someone is lacking confidence or is insecure or has a lot of self-doubt, the world doesn't have a way to equalize that. It kind of, if anything, it kind of solidifies the self-doubt and the lack of confidence. And that can be self-fulfilling. Whereas the other way, if someone's getting a bit too cool for their boots, the world has a funny way of bringing them back. So I'd much rather myself or a child of mine or anyone else out there listening are on the confidence side. Absolutely.
God, yeah. Yeah.
That was a good little tangent. I'll take my part. Mine's completely different to that. What belief has had the biggest impact on your life? Mine's around gratitude. Reading the book, The Resilience Project by Hugh Van Cuylenberg. A line, I don't even know if this line was in the book, but this is what the book is about. The key to getting everything you want in life is realizing you've already got it. I think that's huge because so often we're chasing what we don't have without looking at what we already do have. And you hear it a lot about parents when their kids have grown up and they've left and they're kind of on their own and their kids obviously aren't hanging out with them anymore because they're living their own lives. And they say that the time when your kids are like between the ages of like 6 and 12, they're the best times, even though they're those times when you're probably not getting enough sleep. You're trying to bust your ass building your career. You're not, satisfied with your career yet, which you might be at 60. And you're also trying to work on your fitness and you might be trying to lose weight and you're trying to build a business and you're trying to spend enough time with your wife and your kids. And it feels like you're juggling way too many balls all at once. And it's like, oh, I wish, this would happen so I could be more relaxed here and I'd be able to spend more time here. And it's like, even in all of that shit and bedlam, people often look back and say they were the best times of our life.
Yeah.
You don't know it when you're in it. And it's like, understand that if that's you right now, and it's you and I right now, Trav, like right now, yes, there's a lot of things that I want to achieve that I'm not satisfied with yet, but it's like, sit back and smell the roses. This is the best time of your life.
Yeah.
Enjoy it and understand that. And instead of like wishing things were better or we've got a house that needs renovating. And it's like, instead of wishing all of that was done, like enjoy what you're in now.
Yeah, we're very fortunate in that regard. Like
In what
I think
sense?
that we're great. You and I are very grateful for what we've got, especially when it comes to our kids. Like we appreciate it a lot, and I go back to Darksy again because he actually said the same thing you were just talking about. He's like he's got the most beautiful relationship with his 3 boys. And you and I would look up to him a lot when it came to him as a parent. But he would always say, enjoy these moments, boys, because it's actually the funnest when they're between, I can't remember the ages, but let's just say what you just said then, 6 to 12. It is so fun right now with the kids. Like Miami and Zadie yesterday, you and he yesterday afternoon.
They're hilarious.
Oh, they're just so cute. Zadie was teaching Miami how to do cartwheels. And then Mace and Ace, like, how much fun those 2 boys and mischief those 2 boys are going to get up to. I actually don't think they'll get up to too much mischief. They're both...
No, they're good kids.
Yeah. And then Jet and Coop, just adorable.
They'll be playing Minecraft together.
So good. They'll be saying 3 words every 4 hours. That's probably too many words. That's the whole time of the week that they'd say that. But yeah, enjoying those times, all your kids, and like we're very present when it comes to our kids. So that's why I think we're good at that part.
There was an email I wrote, and I remember writing it too when I think we had 2 kids, my wife and I, and they were like, one was 2 and one was maybe 6 months old. And I remember like
trenches.
proper trenches, another night of like broken sleep, and the 2-year-old was sleeping with us and the 6-month-old was up every 2 hours. And I remember just being like, all I want is like to have unbroken sleep for like 3 or 4 hours. And life was so difficult at the time. And then I thought back to when my wife gave me an ultrasound that showed that I was going to be a dad. And I remember that feeling, and all I ever wanted in life was to be a dad. And I don't know why I'm getting choked up right now. And I had that feeling of this is all I want in life. And then I had 2 beautiful kids, and I was like, what am I complaining about? How many people out there can't have kids and are struggling to have kids, and I'm complaining because I'm not getting enough sleep because my beautiful, healthy baby boy is keeping me up. So that really dawned on me of like, be grateful for what you've got, even if it feels shit at the time. Does that make sense?
I'm rattled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't normally get choked up like that. I'm
What
a
the
bit rattled.
hell just happened? Guys, Patrick has a heart.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No,
You might have to cut that out. No, that was a bit
never
weird.
apologize. That was fantastic, Patrick.
Anyway, let's move on. Emotions don't feel nice sometimes. All right,
That
Travis.
was great.
Thanks so much. What's a hill you're willing to die on?
Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, don't say you're going to do something.
Yeah, because this was kind of off. Like I was when I read it, the first thing I thought of was what you would always say is that if you say you're going to do something, do it. And I've always been like, if you're going to lead someone, you got to lead with your actions. If you're going to tell someone to do, you better make sure that you're doing it. And as a parent, kids are going to do as you do, not as you say.
Yep.
So that's the hill that I'm going to die on, Patrick.
He's better than mine. I want to die on your hill too. Can I come? Can I come
Yeah,
sit
come
at your
on.
hill? Yeah. My hill that I'm willing to die on is go to bed earlier. Sleep improves everything in your life. Put your phone down and go to sleep. Is that's I'm glad how it's like I kind of said a little half jokey one and you went heaps serious with yours.
I'm excited for this next question after that you just got emotional, Patrick.
Yeah.
Can you answer yours first?
I didn't have anything written down. I was hoping to.
So good.
Just
Okay,
wing it with
perfect.
mine.
That's actually just as good. Ask the question.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
What's something nobody warned you about when becoming a parent?
And you can read this, and I haven't said this before you said what you said. How fucking good it's going to be. Right?
How good it was going to be.
How many times did when you were about to have a kid,
Yes.
everyone is, oh, you're not going to get any sleep.
Yeah.
All this bullshit.
Say goodbye to your weekends.
Yeah, like, no more time for this, no more time for that.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak how I want to say.
Go
Shut
on.
the fuck up.
Yeah.
Honestly, everyone that would say to me how bad this was going to be, that was. What about how fucking good it is?
Exactly.
What about how much having kids smacks you with perspective? Just then was a perfect example for you. Like, how many times do you have those days where you just like, bro, we went through some fucking tough days back then, but every single time I come home and then Jet would say, oh, I love you, Dad.
Yeah.
Where's the problem, man? Like every time, like I'll be walking now, like with Miami, and like, unfortunately now days aren't really as hard as they used to be, but I still have those tough days. And if Miami sits there and goes, "Love you, Dad," out of nowhere, forget about it, man.
Yeah.
What's the problem in the world? Like, that's the part that I actually get frustrated when you hear people say they're about to have a kid and they start, and it's not even that they're thinking this, it's just because everyone does this, right? It's a sheep thing, sheep
cool
mentality,
thing to do,
right?
Yep.
Everyone says the same stuff. I remember every time someone says something to me now, I always have that thing of like, bro, it's the
Best time of your life.
best thing ever. Like one of the boys, he had two girls, and now he's about to have a boy, and I'm like, brother, you don't understand the amount of fun you're about to have. You know, everything you want to do, you can go and do it, but now you can do it with someone else that's going to be just like you. Like, there's nothing funner than having a conversation with like your son who's exactly the same as you and just says the same things. There's nothing better in life than spending time with your kids. And it shits me up the wall when people always be like, oh, what's something that you like when you become a parent, oh, wait, make sure you do this, or what about when this happens? Like, fuck that.
Shut up. Stop looking at the negative.
Yeah, there is so many more positives to being a parent than there is the negatives. Like, there is tough times, there is tough times with everything. But if you focus on them, then you're going to dwell on those things. But if you look at how many positive things are, it's endless.
Yeah.
Like, and I love you, Daddy, from any of your kids,
mate.
trumps any bullshit that you've had that day.
100%,
Forget about it.
100%.
Straight away, instantly, straight away. So that's the thing that I wish people had someone had told me about before.
I'm gonna go off the back of that. What's something nobody warned you about when becoming a parent? This is for me in particular, that you're gonna prefer to hang out with your kids than your mates. I love my mates. I love the boys, but like there's guys that I was really close with before any of us had kids, and we spend every weekend together. Very rarely see each other now anymore.
Respectfully, we love each other more than anyone. We would still choose our kids over,
100%.
and we love hanging out with each other.
Correct. And there's been times when like I've had mates reach out, hey, like, what are you doing on the weekend? Like, let's catch up. We'll go up to the pub and watch the footy or something like that. And I've honestly answered, and people might judge me for how honest I am, but I've just said, oh no, I'm doing something with the kids. I didn't say like I prefer to spend time with my kids, even though it's the truth. I'm like, oh no, I'm taking the kids on a bushwalk or something because that's what they want to do. And I would prefer to spend time with my kids than with my mates. I'm cool with that. Doesn't mean I hate my mates. I just like the kids even better. All right, next question. What's something your kids have taught you?
Perspective. Like going back to what I was talking about before. Like every time you think shit's really hard and it's bad, like they always just kind of put things in perspective. Like everything can be sorted out. Everything can be figured out. There's always going to be a solution. And like I've had so many days where I think like the world's coming down because of 3 or 4 problems that I see that is at that time 1,000 times bigger than they are. And then you get in front of your kids and you're just like, what was I worried about? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like I'll figure that out.
Yeah.
It's all good. So perspective.
Mine is the little things are the big things. So perfect example. So like often on a weekend when it's like, all right, I've been working heaps. I want to really do something heaps fun with the kids. And like, I'll plan this massive day where we go into the city and we go and get lunch here and we might go to the movies or we might go here and we go to Darling Harbour and I've planned all of these things, or we'll go to the zoo or the aquarium or something like that because I'm like, oh, the bigger and better this day is, like the more the kids are going to love it. I asked Zadie the other day what the best part of last week was, and what she said was on a Friday afternoon, she does swimming for half an hour and my sons do swimming for an hour. So there's a half-hour gap. And in that gap, we go in the pool and we'll often just play around. And there was this gum nut that had dropped from a tree, right? And it was at the bottom of the pool. And we had this game where she would throw the gum nut in and I would have to try and grab it before it hits the ground. And every time I'd try and grab it, the water rushing when my hand went close to it made it swirl around and I just kept missing it. And Zadie was cackling with laughter. And all the things we did last week, 10 minutes of me trying to grab a gum nut in a pool at Carrying Bar Leisure Centre was the highlight of her week. And that could have easily have been something where I was like, oh, I would have just gone and had a shower and, because I'd already done my swimming and she'd done hers and we could have just showered. And I was like, I always kind of go, no, like I'll just go in and swim with her because that's what she wants to do. Yeah. Little things like that are the big things. And it's like, don't remove those opportunities for those silly, useless moments that you think are going to be silly and useless that end up being more important than going out on the weekend.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Last question.
If your kids copied everything, this is a good one for you, Travis. If your kids copied everything you did for the next 20 years, would you be happy with the outcome?
For me now? Is that what you mean? For what I do from now for the next 20 years?
Oh, let's answer twice then.
Okay.
If your kids copied everything you did for the previous 20 years, would you be happy with the outcome?
No, please don't do that. But at the end of the day, they're gonna live their life however they live their life.
And you kind of have to let your kids make their own mistakes to an extent, right?
Yeah, I know that. That's because that's like my parenting isn't the result. Sorry, the parent I got from my mum and dad, I don't think is necessarily the reason why I became the way I did. Like I was just different. I always felt different. Do you know what I mean? Everyone else kind of liked to follow the rules. Yep. I just didn't. So I hope not.
But I feel for your parents.
Yeah, me too. But you know, like, ignorance is bliss. My mum, I said to my mum yesterday, she actually genuinely thought that I was a really good kid.
She just had, you know what? It's a couple of those things we spoke about, gratitude. She just sees the positive in everyone, your mother. What a beautiful person.
Yeah. But if from now, I'd love for them to just copy everything I do from me because that's exactly how I live my life now. I live my life, and we've spoken about this heaps of times, like every moment that I'm in, I treat it as if there's a documentary crew filming me and that my kids are watching it back. Now, does that mean that I'm perfect? Fuck no. But when I do have those moments, I always am accountable towards them. I own them. And then I make sure that I apologize for them. So I would be stoked if they end up living their life like me, I am right now for the next 20 years, because I know that they're human. They're going to make errors. But if they make their errors, they'll be accountable to them. And then they'll apologize for their mistakes. And I think that's all you can do, because we're all going to make mistakes. But as long as you are mature enough, and it took me a long time to get this way, I'm mature enough to be accountable towards those actions, and then apologize for those things that you've done, and then right the wrongs in terms of correcting your actions moving forward, that's all you can do. So yeah, I'd be pumped if they continue living this way. Ace thinks that he's never going to drink. He always talks about it.
Really?
Yeah, he's a bit of a wanker too. So I go,
Where did you get that from?
yeah, me straight up. So I'm 10 years sober. Ace tells everyone he's 9 years sober.
Does he? That's hectic.
And I'm like, brother, it doesn't count because like you can't legally drink. He goes, yeah, but I'm 9 years old. I'm almost 9. I've never touched beer. I'm like,
Hey, I can't argue with him.
great logic.
I can't argue with him.
Yeah.
He's barking right up my tree with the logic there.
Yeah.
But then when he's 25, he'll be able to say I'm 25 years sober.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. That's how the way culture's going now. Fuck, it excites me in terms of alcohol. Like it's getting less and less and less.
It's not cool anymore.
No, like it's cool. It's cool to be like fit, strong, and go for 25-kilometer runs every Sunday.
In saying that, is that just the people that we surround ourselves with?
I'm not sure.
Because I wonder if, and I don't know the answer to this question, but I wonder if there is still a large part of society out there where that is a cool thing to do.
We'll be able to speak to our boy here and get just nod of approval. But what excites me is from what I see, there's a definite change in the rugby league culture coming through now. You can give us a yes or no. Now, at the start of your career, was there more drugs and alcohol involved in the culture opposed to the back end of your career? He's given us a yes.
Yep.
Now, who was I talking about this with the other day? Andrew Delalana.
Yep.
Andrew Delalana coaches. Sorry,
Sharks
Del,
roller
if I get
grades.
this. Yeah. It's the Maddie's. No, it's not Maddie's. It's like Flag or no. He's actually up in the big dog one now, the reserve grade team. He was saying now it's completely different in terms of the kids coming through. It's all about doing the extras. It's all about living the clean life. Like it's all about, who's a perfect, like Cookie.
Yep.
Cookie's a perfect example. Chad Townsend, those
Yep.
types of people
Yep.
that very clean skin. Whereas when you were coming through and the generation that we watched, it was the opposite. If you're a clean skin in a rugby league culture, you were
Weird.
Yeah. Like you don't, Della said it to me the other day. He goes, if you didn't conform to that culture, you'd be outed.
Yep.
No matter how talented you were. Now, it's his words were it's much more professional in the lower grades now than it was in first grade back then.
What concerns me though, Travis, and I don't like to just always play devil's advocate, that's the professional sphere. We had our old boys day where we played league tag and then afterwards the A grade played and I hung around at the end of that, right?
I could imagine.
They go up into the clubhouse and do the presentation and 3, 2, 1s and everyone gets up and sculls a beer and everyone's cheering and then the guy that got 3 points sculled a beer and then they all cheered and then they gave him another beer and then they all started chanting one more, one more, one more. Stuff that we're not immune to because we saw it all the time when growing up. Yes, the professional like NRL players are a lot different to what they were. That's 400 people.
But
it's filtering down.
It filters down.
Yes, and obviously there's the lower grades.
It will filter down, but it'll never be perfect, and there'll always be that somewhat of the culture. But what excites me though, if it's starting at the top,
that's what people are looking up to.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a very good.
It's
point.
what the cool kids do.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. It's always going to have its place in our culture, I think, to an extent. But I reckon it's going to get lesser and lesser as we go on, which I'm excited for.
And back then, I don't want to keep using the word, but that was the cool thing to do.
Yeah.
To have 15 beers after you play a game of footy. Now is it necessarily cool anymore? I don't know.
Well, you start hearing things from like the boys that go to the gym now. Like when we were playing, we were 24, 25. It was all about going out and getting on the piss after. I spoke to one of the boys after that played on the weekend, and he was like, "Oh, I went home at like 9 o'clock," whereas that would never have happened back then. Anyways, tangent. Was that our last question?
That's it.
Well done. Congratulations, everyone.
Great job.
Thank you.
That was a long one.
Peace.